Hi, and welcome to another segment of Real Talk Right Now. And obviously, my Real Talk right now is what we're recognizing today, truth and reconciliation, by wearing our orange t-shirts. And in this case, I decided to add my orangey kind of hair um, to the mix in full support from head to toe, recognizing something that was horrendously tragic that happened to so many First Nations families, in my opinion. Every country, every culture has had some form of oppression and decisions made for them that they never asked for, that they never wanted, but instead forced to do certain things. And what grieves me, there are two things that grieves me deeply about this, is that it was done under the name of Christianity. You know, when Jesus was here, he didn't force anybody to follow him. He didn't force anybody to believe in him. He came to be the savior of the world, to restore something that was broken. And if you choose him, that's the point. If you choose him, he didn't say, do this or else, or I'm taking you regardless of if you believe in me or not. It was never about that. Yet these people of the past took it upon themselves, at gunpoint even, forcing these First Nations families to give up their children and be put in these schools, cut their hair, strip them essentially of their culture and heritage. True Christianity would have given them a choice. And should they say no, would have said, okay, no problem. We'll just keep praying for you, or whatever. So what happened to those children that were not given a choice is truly, I can't even find the words right now. It's beyond, well, I led with horrendous. It was horrendous. And I remember, and I say this because being an 80s child, growing up, there are lots of things our parents didn't really consider would affect us, that we're watching on TV like they would now. And I remember watching a documentary about the residential school situation. And I would have been maybe 7 or 8 years old at the time. And I mean, this is not about me per se, but I feel like I can kind of relate to what happened to these children being taken from their families, having no choice in the matter, because I too was taken from my family. And the only difference here is that I was taken from my family into another family, into another part of my family, I should say. So I went from living in Jamaica with my sisters and my mom, my dad. I was brought to Canada, and we were to live with my aunt and uncle instead of my mom. So, yeah, we were placed in a different family, different situation, different everything. I won't go into too much detail because, like I said, I don't want to make it about me. But I mean, not having my mom or seeing my mom every day as a kid was traumatizing, and I never felt secure. I never felt absolutely safe. And you know what? Those decisions that were made for me that I had no say in still affect me till this day. And that's the truth. And what I experience really is just a fraction of what these kids had to go through. I thankfully was going from one family to another part of my family, but these kids were all put in a school. Maybe they had the luxury of having their siblings with them at least. But I think even that was also coordinated, that they wouldn't do that. These kids were stripped of everything, taken. At least in these times, in these modern times, the government and people in our various communities can finally say that it should have never happened. Families torn apart, that trauma that will always be with them, possibly passed on from generation to generation. They never asked for that. So, in commemoration of Truth and Reconciliation, that we're showing our solidarity in saying that, we support the First Nations communities. We acknowledge the traumas of the past, and hoping that something like this will never, ever happen again anywhere. That is the hope. We can't reverse what has been done to the children of the past. But, moving forward, hopefully, just knowing that they have our support, that these First Nations communities have our support and are here ready and willing to do what we can to ensure that what happened in the past will never happen again, and to make a brighter future for their generation of children. Ultimately, I believe our governments really need to step up and do more. I think it's important to show, even in our local communities, by wearing this orange shirt today, that we are in support. Let this day be a day of remembrance, and in a way that we will never forget, so that we don't keep making the same mistakes over and over again. As you can see, I'm a brown person. We have our own history. But as far as, once again, recognizing and supporting your community and what you went through, we stand together, acknowledging and in full support. And God willing, will never happen to any other community. True Christianity that should have been there at the time. That would have been the one. And in a loving manner, share the gospel to a community and give you the choice to say, you know what, nope, not for me. Or, yes, you know what, I do want to know more. Tell me more. So, anyhow, that's what I got today. Once again, have a wonderful day. God bless you all. Love you all. Mwah. And thanks for watching.